growth and achievement. Let's shift our gaze to the next big step. What comes after today? How do we spread our wings and soar higher from here? Yes, you have worked hard, cleared your exams, and reached this big milestone. But have you thought about the next leap? The one that takes you from here, your roots, here at Learning Point Foundation, to the wings. But have you thought about the next leap? The one that takes you from your roots, here at Learning Point Foundation, to the wings that will carry you into college, career, and beyond. Well, our next speaker is here to talk about exactly that, roots to wings. He is someone who has inspired countless young minds to dream big and aim higher. He is an academician who has guided students and continues to inspire through both his words and his work. A mentor who understands what it means to rise against odds. A man of knowledge, humility, and deep insight. He currently serves as a director and chief information officer at the College of Computer Sciences and Engineering at the King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals in Tehran, Saudi Arabia. Today, he is here to share a message, especially for you students of Learning Point Foundation, about believing in your potential, about education as your gateway to opportunity, and about how determination can transform lives. So dear students, let's sit up straight, open our minds, and be all ears as we welcome to the stage our chief guest, Dr. Sadiq M. Saif.
Bismillah, assalamu alaikum. Assalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wa hlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. Welcome all. Thank you for the opportunity. This title was not chosen by me, Roots to Wings. This was in the brochure and I didn't know what to put. But I think there's more in this presentation than you can imagine, and I would like to request silence so that you can get the message. Firstly, Dr. Sarwat and her team, a huge team of 27 people, thank you all for the great accomplishments and also for inviting me. Let's go to the next slide. It's a celebration day. The numbers are staggering. About 90% of the high school students, 10th and 12th, graduating or successfully completing, I think is a big thing for a small purpose like this. So my hearty congratulations, not only to the students who are successful, but also to Learning Point for making it happen. They have a fantastic group of teachers and staff, about 27 of them, and we'll read out the names later. Next slide. Now, what about those who did not make it? They failed. Now, the nice thing about that is even they need congratulations, because failure is one thing that we do not teach in our culture, and failure is one thing that is not looked at nicely in our culture. But if you see lots and lots of successful people, they have had that experience, so then they know what it is to appreciate success. And of course, there's another attempt, and then you will overcome the obstacle and you will proceed. I myself have had failures. In those days when I went to school, it was very common to send children back to school to repeat a year. And you'll be surprised to learn that I had to repeat the 5th grade. So I spent 2 years in the 5th grade in school. And I'm so thankful to God for that. I had other failures too. I thought I was created by God to be a medical doctor. Admission was based on your second year PUC marks, which we worked very hard and we earned. And then the government suddenly decided that they'll look at the first PUC and second PUC marks. The time was of Mrs. Gandhi, emergency, 1976 to 1978. Many people went to court. 30,000 students applied. 200 were called for the interview for 150 seats in Bangalore Medical College. My name was there. I did not make the cut. I ended up being an engineer. And I'm thankful to God for that. When I see the books of my daughter, thick books, I always say in Urdu, Allah bacha liya. And my daughter always says, mujhe phasa diye. All right, let's go to the next. Go back. So I wrote this. I said, failure in life is what, in your initial formative years, makes you really understand what is life and how to navigate it. And everybody gets a second chance, which is nice. Okay. It's not that it's going to be the end of everything. And once you cross the temporary obstacle, and then you are successful, then you know how to grow and how to flourish. And there are many, many examples of this in life, including Abul Kalam, who was not admitted to Dehradun Academy. He was just asked to go home, and he became a chief scientist of the country and the president of India. As an example, that just comes to mind. Yeah. Now, the initial vision of LP when I met Dr. Sarwat was to focus on 10th and 11th grade, or 12th grade, for the NIOS, which is people who have not gone to school or never had the opportunity. And a simple example, which I recall, I don't know who said this, they said a simple Mehndi artist, when she goes to a beauty parlor for a job, they ask her, did you have a 10th grade or 12th grade? Now, that was a very noble thing. And of course, a few hundreds have graduated. That I call the initial vision. That has evolved now very recently, and we'll see what that is. The girl, Samarine, asked you this question, sir, what about degree? And your answer was correct. You said, that's not my business, which is right. There are other opportunities. What we have seen recently, very recently, and Nusrat is heading this, is students who scored well in the 12th grade aspiring to go for professional degrees. This semester alone, Nusrat and Asjad and her team managed to get admissions for a good percentage of people in degrees like bachelor's in physiotherapy, bachelor's in cardiac care. Some are in law schools, one did pharmacology. Amazing. So here, today, I come here with a message. Higher education is always a gateway to prosperity, either in your country or outside. I went out of the country as a graduate student to Saudi Arabia. I wanted to go to the US. After completion of my BS, when we say higher education, it includes bachelor's degree. But if you have an opportunity in your own country, you've got to work hard to aspire and get out and learn more, get more knowledge from better geographies, more facilities, more opportunities, more evolving curricula. So the message is that while you're working on your 12th grade, try to do your best. If you all score between 90, 95%, etc., I'll tell you a secret, and I did this to tell this to Dr. Sarwat yesterday. If there's any good, hard-working student with enough aptitude and sincerity and would like to get educated and go to higher levels, there'll be always people wanting to fund that. No time has it happened that somebody got admitted to a medical college and did not have money to pay the fees. Never it happened. Somebody will come in and things happen. So that burden of funding, finding admissions, counseling, mentoring, etc., leave it to Learning Point. And this is exactly what I said. If we have good students, not only in Learning Point, anywhere in the community, of course they have to have the aptitude and skills. They have to have a little bit of determination to get somewhere. They have to be thinkers and dreamers, and they have to have some passion. And I'll tell you something. The economic condition of all of us is not good, and that is a great motivator. So what happens to Learning Point? I said now Learning Point is becoming a turning point for people who aspire to go to some place, yeah? So I want to tell you a little bit about myself. I too was an orphan. I didn't have a mother. My father worked very, very hard to make ends meet. And we have seen poverty, which most of you haven't. And in those days, I didn't know of people more poorer than us. Things were difficult. So if you remember, Kumar Vishwas, in trying to praise Mrs. Gandhi in one of the talks, said, those days of Sadiq Said, when I was a kid, he calls it Nanga Bhuka Hindustan. There were no opportunities. Situation was economically very, very bad. It was a country full of anxious citizens with nowhere to go, literally. Things have evolved. Now, we didn't have Learning Point. We didn't have Dr. Sarwat or people like her at that time at all. We didn't have mentors. We didn't have, no, school children never talked about leadership. You just heard the speech over here. Now people are talking about things way beyond what it was 40 years ago. Now you have opportunities, you have a platform. I would call it a platform, not a foundation, from which you can actually grow and fly, like she calls it, wings, and go to the next one. Before this, I'll tell you one thing. Dr. Sarwat, Nusrat, if you find in this group anybody who scored well in high school and have got admissions to a good college, you call it college, okay, we call it university program. Let us discuss that case together. Nobody will be deprived of education, and we know where the funds are, where the people are, who would like to contribute, and you will be doing them a favor by trying to see that those funds are properly channeled. So now what happens, this Mehndi Lagane Ki Bachi's type of vision has now moved to educating people in the 12th grade so that they can aspire to get into degrees and then give forward whatever they learn and whatever they accomplish. I can assure you, I've done this before. People in this hall, a good 5, 10, 20% of them are going to be stars one day, inshallah. Because of the sincerity, because of the honesty, the integrity, and the passion and the fire in the belly these people have, really admirable. I would like to read out their names. Dr. Sabzarafon. Nusrat just sent me this list, and I think their names have to be mentioned. A fantastic team. We have Hadia, Yasmin, Hala, Khatija, Nahida, Kulsum, Asjad, Faisal. Asjad seems to be the only guy, and Faisal in this whole group of ladies. Anisa, Firdaus, and Nusrat. And then there are others like Nagma, Rumana, Hajra, Hajra Beg. Shehnaz, Kausam, Arshia, Meena, etc. And really congratulations to this girl, Samreen, who got up and asked you the question about degrees, which only gives us an indication of how the school children now are thinking. And I appeal to you, sir, that you also give your heartfelt support to this organization. And I think they really deserve that, and that will make you feel proud. Thank you very much for your attention.